You saying try to find people that you trust, try to find people that seem valid and everything that they're doing. I think a lot of times the general rule of thumb as streamers, or at least what I've always preached, is find a reviewer that shares the same interest as you.
Exactly.
So that being said, with bias being a thing that exists, is that not just confirmation bias by finding a reviewer that you know is going to like a certain type of game?
Hey, or slow down here. No, no, buddy. No.
Like no. How does that work?
I think that's a fair question. I have been afraid of the effects of the algorithm, an algorithm-based society. For a long time. You can find interviews of me back in like 2009, 2010, saying like, I fear the death of serendipity. Of just serendipitously experiencing someone as they are, as opposed to like, oh, well, we have the same interests, so like we must be aligned in our beliefs and everything like that. But I mean, that's been kind of happening. There's one of my favorite books from the early 2000s was by a writer named Bill Bishop, where he was like talking about how people in communities are already moving towards communities of each other.
Right.
That migration was already happening physically in the real world space. And now the social media space has only aggravated that to an intense, like to the nth degree, of like-minded people. So, it's kind of like how the way I force myself to read car reviews. I think people just need to be better, more informed people. People need to be interested in challenging themselves better. It's why, like, as a journalist throughout my entire career, I've always read media from from across the political spectrum, and maybe that's made me to understanding of the other side or whatever like that. But like that's kind of like what being a traditional journalist is. Like you want to be able to absorb all the information. So
right.
I think there is some value in terms of trying to be a more hyper informed citizen and. Again, I do read some game reviews of people that I might disagree with, and I try to take that into account. And sometimes I walk away and be like, oh, I see that point. And, it's challenging, especially difficult, especially with all of our platforms discouraging that. TikTok is like, no, here's all the same shit that you like over and over again. And Disney is like, here's more same shit that you like over and over again. Netflix is like, you're interested in this, and Spotify is like, you like this.
Yeah.
Well, what's even scarier,
asking people,
yeah, and well, the idea also of kind of these systems curating the content that we have the option to experience. So it's like even the choices we have get limited. So Google has now flipped on their AI. So whenever you search in Google for something, across the very top, it's going to try to give you its AI response first. Now that AI response is going to be significantly limited. In many cases, give you a direct or immediate answer to whatever you're Googled. That means instead of going through your normal 10, 15, 20 and kind of like doing that scroll and trying to, look at your options and checking, the AI is just going, you want this one. This is the one you want. Oh, you Googled that? You're going here. So instead of it being like this big spiderweb flow chart, it's just an A to B to C to D as you're like moving through the internet and the computer's just telling you where to go, So it's a very weird situation. Like I use my Google phone, the voice stuff on there all the time. Now when you tell it the normal Google search stuff, it only pulls up the AI. So if you're in the car and you're like, hey, search for this, it responds in English AI response like, oh, well, that's located at the, it just starts going into it. It's just like, no, man, no. And that's by default. I didn't opt in. I didn't change anything. I need to figure out how to opt out, but I didn't turn it on. So it's like, Jesus, dude, the amount of other people that this is now just their life, is wild.
Yeah, we all use Windows and we all have to like opt out of Copilot because Copilot just turned on everything here, just like automatically, That's what I'm scared about. I said earlier that I'm not like reflexively anti-AI, but like, so I use an AI tool almost every day for my work. It's a transcription tool and that's powered by AI, right? I've been using that for years. It's been very, very helpful. I use it almost every day, especially for my interviews. Very, very helpful. It's been sucking ass lately. It's been like getting worse. It's not transcribing like words. It's just completely missing entire like blocks of like conversation and like getting words completely wrong. So I'm just like, I support AI as long as it fucking works as a good tool. But like this is just like like it's just failing
Those
us.
are
Google AI
hallucinations,
sucks,
right?
you know? Huh?
When it's trying to process and it thinks it's doing it properly, it just spits out something that's completely wrong. That's hallucinating from that regard.
I guess so. Yeah. It would just like not work. It just wouldn't like transcribe the words that are being said like very clearly.
Huh.
It's just like failing. It's just these tools are just failing us sometimes, and that sucks.
Yeah. The whole AI thing is I think a different can. We've opened a bunch of cans today. We might leave that one alone. Save it for another time.
A lot of interesting topics today for sure.
Yeah, no, it's been fantastic. I think we're all enjoying it.
No, you're asking all great questions. Very good questions.
Oh, there you go. That's
you know what? I'll go ahead and say it. I think this is the best interview Gene's ever had. These are the best questions.
Oh, that's the phrase. That's the phrase right here.
There it is.
Whew.
Good job, guys.
I'm gonna sleep good tonight.